wondering what I'm doing here. I'm talking about the kids. And then the other half are panicking. That's the parents. You're like, what is he going to say? What is he going to say? This lady is terrified, right? That's fine. Don't panic. What a lot of people don't know is that I don't just do, so for the young people here, and really, you are the most important people here, just so you know that. You don't know what I'm doing, who I am, or what is going on here, but that's fine. I'm a very rude comedian. That's my day job. I've made my whole career out of being incredibly rude. But as I've got older, I've got younger, and that's really why I'm here, because I've started studying again. At an older age. I'm 45 and I haven't gone back to university, I've gone to university. I never went to university ever. And I've started to understand how important it is to learn. So when I met this crazy lady called Shazia in a bakery, who basically rugby tackled me and told me how excited she was, and then I said, but what do you do? And she said she teaches young people robotics. I got very excited and dropped everything and said I would come just to be here today, because this is so important. And you are learning something so important so soon in your life. It's hugely important. And you mentioned my dad. I'm going to go and see my dad in Durban because he had a stroke last week, and so his brain is not functioning right now the way it should. But what I have learned in the last week is this incredible concept called neuroplasticity, which is how my dad's going to learn to walk and talk again. It's incredible. Just like your kids sitting here, all of the older people, and you're the cool parents because you are here supporting your kids do this, so I'm on your side. As you get older, resist the urge to lose your neuroplasticity. Make sure that you keep that going, because it's really important. I'm gabbling a bit, but never mind, I'm trying to not swear. I'm doing quite well. Stop laughing, you shouldn't even know what that means. Now. I'll do a joke in a minute. But I wanted to just say that as I'm learning more, and I didn't mention my dad for any other reason than you can learn from anything. You really can. But this is a relatively new subject. Just to the children here, I grew up unlike most children. I wasn't like the other boys. I grew up in a boys' school where everything was about rugby and everything was about like doing stuff that the other boys did, and I couldn't do that. And as a result of that, I never really felt like one of the other kids, and that's absolutely fine. What you're doing now is truly important, so do it. And if you love it, just stick to it. It's fine. Don't be like anyone else. Don't be like anyone else. It's not important. But what is important is to do what you love. So it's exciting that you're going to make these robots now beat the living heck out of each other. If that's what you like, that's good. Do that. It's very important. Rugby is rubbish, but this it really is rubbish. I mean, you are going to let machines harm each other. Just now in a stadium, men are going to harm each other over a ball. It's pointless. And then other grown-ups are going to be watching them hurt each other on television. And they're going to shout instructions at those men on television because they don't understand how science works. And then most of the men yelling instructions to those hand-picked athletes are not athletes. They are in really bad shape. They don't have a job in a rugby team. They have diabetes. So what I'm trying to say to you is that you have these incredible minds, and so do your parents. So it's very important that you use them to do these important things that you're doing, because everything you do here is going to become more and more about how we live and stuff. Has anyone here seen a brilliant documentary on Netflix called AlphaGo? It's amazing, and I suggest you watch it, the parents. It's Go, as I'm sure you all know, is a very complex and ancient Japanese board game. And the beauty of Go is it's a strategy game that relies largely on human insight. And there's a company in London called DeepMind, I think, that's been feeding Go games by masters into this massive machine in the hope, because there's always this belief that AI won't be able to replicate human decision-making in the kind of a nuanced way that we are capable of doing. Watch this thing. It's so important. These things are very important. So we're building stuff that's cleverer than us. It's happening. So you've got a very important job. I know you ate, but it's important. I know you're tired now, but wait, son, but you're going to run stuff any minute now. So that's important. And then, just to the parents, we are in a difficult time. We're in a time of change as a country, and it's interesting because it's uncertain. And stupidity, which I feel is completely inexcusable now, we have Google, you have no reason to be ignorant, is our biggest enemy, because we polarized in our dialogue with each other. The important things that we haven't discussed yet, that's why these guys are inheriting the problem. Things like race, things like land, these are all very important issues. You can't believe I haven't sworn yet. I can see how you're relaxed. You're like, oh, so good. Because it's also a special time for you from a religious point of view, so it would be really bad if I upset you now. So that's fine. But this is a time where you can tolerate me and indulge me a little bit. So that's fine. But the point is that I'm always reminded by this danger of stupidity, and we do see things differently than these guys do. That's why they're the scientists and we're just the providers of data and money and food and scheduling. So I was in a small town recently, which was my mistake. I should never have gone to a small town being myself, because some people who have been raised in a conservative environment don't see me as a human being. They see me as a threat to their very existence. And so I wouldn't have gone. I'm not going to mention the small town. I am. It's Wellington. It was in Wellington. And let's just name and shame. And it was on a Sunday as well. Not a good day for those people and for them. So I was at a rock festival nearby that time. And I'd realized on day 3 that I should go to town on a humanitarian mission and buy some soap. I love music, but when you can smell the musician as well as hear him, it's time somebody went to the spa. So off I went, and I wasn't thinking I'm half Greek. I saw a spa, that's my spiritual home on a Sunday. It's basically a cash business. And so I went into the spa and I was buying some provisions for these people, and I was doing that. And does anyone scuba dive here? Yeah, normally, because 60% of scuba divers registered in this country are basically based in Gauteng. We don't have much water, but we have money. When you've scuba dived, have you ever had that sensation, especially on an open water dive, where you just get that feeling someone's watching you, and then you turn and there's nothing there? Well, this is exactly my point. You think it's a shark because it is. No, they're not interested in eating you. They have a different algorithm. If they take a bite, they spit it out because you're the wrong composition. You don't have enough of the right stuff, right? Especially you and I. We don't have much to offer a shark. We basically weigh 12 kilograms each. A shark would feel cheated. So the point is that they say that when you get that feeling, it's a known thing. It's because there's a shark nearby and they have a very powerful electromagnetic field. And so we react as prey to that. And that's that feeling. I didn't know it was a shark. I thought it was my ex-wife. It slipped off a boat into the ocean, was going over the reef combing for assets because one of my friends had told her my things were offshore. And I don't speak to him anymore. And so the point is, I got that feeling in the spa, and I thought, wow, how fresh is this fish? And I turned, and coming towards me, basically blocking, the exit. She was between, I think it was a lady, I don't know. She had slightly smaller beard than me, and big lady, angry lady, just lung-arming carbohydrates into a trolley, wearing khaki, which is another era. If any of you have read history, you will know that generally when white people wear khaki, it's not going to end well. It doesn't matter if you're gay or black or Jewish or a rhino, even just run. If you see white people in khaki, groups, just run. It's not going to end well, ever in history. And I've looked at all the examples. She was coming down towards me, dragging a child with her. I know statistics, not really a child, more of a loser. And don't worry, you're okay. You're at the robotics convention. You're not wearing khaki at the age of 8 in a spa with a mom who doesn't understand anything Tim Noakes has ever said. So the point is, she saw me and she stopped. Most of her stopped. Obviously, it took a while just for everything to subside. And I know what you're thinking. Why is he making fun of fat people? They'll never catch me. So the point is that she saw me and we locked eyes. It was like I was an impala and she was a lion. We just looked at each other in the spa on Sunday. And then she said the weirdest thing. She looked at her son and she went, "Pete, look what can happen." I was like warning to her child. And I thought, no chance, I'm wearing running shoes, I can get away. So I just went, it's true, Pete, you can also evolve, run! So all I'm saying is that what you're doing here today is brilliant, and whatever, I'm going to speak to everyone I know, whatever we can do to help this thing, we're going to, because this is so important. What you've done is so good. So don't stop and keep going. You're going to do amazing things now, and you'll keep doing them. Excellent. Have a great day. This is a brilliant thing. You're a part of history being made. Well done. Thanks so much for your time. Cheers.